Alright guys, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate is out. We have Mileena, we have Rambo, we have Rain, and oh my gosh guys, I've been watching these intros from Mileena, and even some of the intros from Rain, and I'm just like, this whole thing has become more of like a soap opera now, which is kind of like what I love about Mortal Kombat. And I really wish they would kind of go into that more, and I think that's what fans love because, Mortal Kombat fans tend to hang on every word. Every time Ed Boon does a tweet, we're like, what does that really mean? What's the meaning behind it? What does it lead to? What is he trying to tell us? Even if it's just like I had a cup of coffee today, we just hang on every word. So in these character intros, especially with Mileena and her interactions with these characters, there's so much there that I'm just like, is this real? Is this retcon? Is this lore? Is this something I can trust? So we're gonna dive into this because honestly, this is like a soap opera, like a reality show, and it's like the Days of Our Lives, but it's like the Chronica Hourglass. It's like the combat of our lives. I'm telling you, it's crazy. So let's dive right into it. Before we get that, guys, make sure that like button, because liking these videos lets us know that you love them. And make sure you smash that notification bell so you don't miss any videos like this one. Let's get to the video. So as I said, with Mileena's new intros and Rain's intros and the endings and whatnot and all the good stuff that we got from Combat Pack 2, there is a lot of drama. And I just kind of wanted to go through that because it, for me, made the new Combat Pack more interesting because that's what I wanted to see. I mean, I want to do the gameplay and I love the moves and all that kind of stuff, but aside from the fatalities and brutalities and friendships and all that kind of good stuff, I really love the lore of Mortal Kombat 11 and I love the story that it's trying to tell and I love the relationships between the characters. So all these new intros and outros and endings, I was just like, wow, this is some drama, guys. Some drama. So let's start off with the obvious. I'm going to start with Mileena because I feel like she had the most, given her backstory from MKX where she was in control of Outworld, and then she kind of got in a coup with Kotal Khan, and then got killed by D'Vorah with the kiss of death. Mileena being brought back by Kronika really kind of threw a wrench in things because people are like, oh snap, she's back. I talked about in a video that's been doing really well about how Mileena, this is basically Mileena's revenge. I feel like this is her, Combat Pack 2 is basically, should just be about Mileena. I know Rain and Rambo in there, but it's about Mileena. She's back with a vengeance, and she's gonna, do what she needs to do. So what I liked about her intros was, we obviously got to see the dynamic that we've been seeing throughout the whole series that obviously between her and Kitana, it ain't gonna happen. They can't be amicable with each other. They can't be sisters as much as, Mileena would love it for her to be sisters, but be with, Shao Kahn. That's just not going to happen. And then, of course, we have her dynamic with Shao Kahn and Sindel because she wants that father, she wants to be daddy's girl and seek his approval. And, of course, Sindel sees her as a daughter like she sees Kitana as a daughter, but just, different. So, obviously, she's going to flock to that. And then we also have her dynamic with Liu Kang because, obviously, she's always trying to not tease him, but trick him and always, say, hey, I'm better than Kitana and why can't you have me? And then we have her relationship with Rain because, in her eyes, Rain basically ran away and betrayed her and was basically just using her, to get a one-up. And then there's also her relationship with Scarlet because, since she's been gone, Scarlet has become, or has been trying to become, Shao Kahn's right hand and, take Mileena's place. And then we find out that she's actually trying to, knock Sindel out of the picture and actually woo Shao Kahn and actually, potentially be his love interest and potentially Mileena's stepmom. And I'm just kind of like, what are we talking about here? That's just crazy. It's just crazy to me to think that that's, stuff going on because there's a lot of drama with Scarlet and Shao Kahn in the comics and this and, kind of incestual thing because she was basically created from blood magic by Shao Kahn and that makes him her daddy and all those kind of stuff that's, supposedly non-canonical and canonical and, it's all this retcon stuff, but it's just crazy to me. I'm just like, what? And then we have her, getting her revenge with Kotal Khan and Jade and D'Vorah. It was just a lot to process, but I was just like, dang, man, there is so much drama going on. So much drama. Even Baraka got in the mix because he's with Kitana now as far as like on her side and not, with Mileena, even though they share some type of DNA with each other, and Baraka's like, let's, even in a funny way, come back to the tribe because you're more me than you are Adinian. And it's just craziness. And I just think that ultimately Mileena is going to get her due. And what I liked is in her ending, she did what ultimately I knew she would do. She basically beat Kronika. Spoiler alert, I hope by now you've played the game or if you at least played Mileena's Tower to know what's going to happen. It's been all over the internet if you haven't seen it, but spoiler alert, Mileena beats Kronika and she uses her powers to do it basically just right where she left off. She's going to be in charge, but she also has her father and mother there, to kind of help hold the throne down. And then She kills Katana, which we knew it was I knew that was gonna happen. There was no way Katana was gonna be with them. So of course she's gonna have to kill her. And so I feel like she gets her revenge finally. Like, if you can't beat me, I'm gonna take you out. And then from there, she talks about how she's gonna enslave her friends. She's gonna get Liu Kang, whether he wants it or not. Because she's in charge. And then what I thought was interesting was like a huge twist in the story was, we thought that was it. You've taken over. You basically have all the power. You've taken over Outworld. You're gonna start taking over other realms. You've defeated your sister. You're gonna make her friends' lives miserable. But wait, there's more. Now she's gonna have a baby with Tanya. So we have Talina back again. And I was just like, say, what? That's crazy. Like, I didn't see that coming at all. Didn't see that coming at all. So I think that's awesome just for the fact that, first off, she thinks that she needs an heir to her throne, which is obviously going to be a male version of Mileena. And then the fact that Tanya is back in the mix. So we know that she's, survived, even though in some of the intro back and forth with Rain, we learn that, because of his betrayal, she ends up dying. So we'll get to that in Rain stuff. But ultimately learn that Tanya dies, whether it be canonically or non-canonically. So nonetheless, we know that Tanya is back. So it's just crazy to think that all this stuff happened in her ending. And ultimately, Mileena's happy now. Ultimately, she gets what she wants, which is kind of good to see. So moving on to Rain. I feel sorry for Rain. Poor Rain. I mean, this guy, obviously, we have the god Argus who had sex with his mom. He didn't want the baby. He lies about the baby, so the mom basically gives Rain up. And it's just sad to see. I think Rain has a horrible story as far as, just growing up. But ultimately, his goal is to get revenge on his god dad and then his sons, because he feels like, which we've seen in past Mortal Kombat games, that's been his mission, is to basically take his rightful throne, his rightful place at the throne of Edenia and be the god that he needs to be. We know he's a demigod, but he's very arrogant. He thinks he's better than everybody else, and so that's what he wants to do. So we also learn that from his interactions with Mileena that he was basically just using her, in her place as Khan to get what he wanted. And so we learn what I think is a continuation of his supposedly, Tanya's non-canonical ending from MKX, where we see that Rain is burned at the stake, and then Tanya is there watching, which we now know that Tanya was killed, which you should be able to foreshadow that Kotal Khan was basically using her to take out all of Mileena's, allies. So now we have that on there, and it's just thinking like, dang, man, that's crazy. It's just crazy to think that, you had this guy who had such a bum life, and he's just trying to really, make his place in the world, but, you have all these players he has to go up against to just make it hard. And then I know there's some controversy with Scarlet, because in one of their interactions, he brings up the fact that she's a Dinian, and so now you're like, what? That's one more wrench thrown in there. Like, so is she related to Tana and Mileena? And then I had people on there saying like, no, it's because she's killed so many people, including Edenian, that she has Edenian blood in her. I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense. But I'm just thinking like, Shao Kahn made her, so Shao Kahn could have made her from Edenian blood too. So it's just kind of crazy to think that we have all these potential characters that could be, half siblings in some ways or related, and, they're just kind of all fighting for power. It's like the Game of Thrones of Mortal Kombat. And finally, I want to talk about Rambo, because Rambo was probably the most ho-hum of all the endings, and it was kind of sad. I felt sorry for the guy, So Rambo wins the game, he beats Kronika, and what does he decide to do? He's like, well, I could fix everything that was wrong that ever happened in the world and make it all right, and save people's lives. But then he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I think, what I actually liked about Rambo's ending, which was very genuine, was he is a soldier who has been through Vietnam, and he has seen death. And when I think when it comes to a lot of soldiers, especially Vietnam in particular, they saw a certain kind of warfare and death, and I think it was very, very scarring. So his ending, I think, was very, he's like, I just want it to all be done, so he's done with it. And I really liked his ending as far as like, he just wants to go out in the sunset, and he does this beautiful, these beautiful mountains. He's like, I'm just going to go do my thing, man. I'm not doing this fighting anymore. And I think that was really good. I think that was a really good way to send him off. He's just, I'm done with the fighting. I've won the war, per se, and I'm done with the fighting. I just want to be happy. So I think that was kind of a good send out, but man, it was kind of sad. It was kind of sad. So I think in order, that's why I did it this way. I talked about the order that I liked the best, because Mileena had the most drama, and then kind of was Rain, and then we had Rambo, which was kind of just ho-hum, but which is fine because he was a guest character. But I think overall, all this drama between, Mileena and all the other characters and Rain, I mean, we have a lot to deal with, a lot to talk about, and a lot to work with in future DLCs, because I think that sets the stage for like Tanya being brought back, because I think Tanya could be brought back as a character. I mean, we're already seeing her in, in past scenes and future scenes, and so I think she could be brought back. And then I think we have, with Rain, we have the brothers, Argus's sons, so I think we are setting the stage for, you know, getting revenge. So I think the next one could be Rain's revenge. I think this is really going to set the stage for that, and going to the realms and whatnot. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the future holds for 2021 and 2022. So what do you think about all the Mileena, Rain, Rambo endings, intros, all the Rain and Mileena drama with all these cutscenes and lines? I mean, wow, it really, I was just like killing me with that, especially with the baby thing. The baby thing got me. The baby thing got me. That's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. For more videos like this one, make sure you smash that notification bell. I'll see you guys next time on The Mashup.